Today for our main lesson book, I would like to write about the snow house, the igloo. So let's start, we'll start with our border. And when I'm thinking of igloos, I think of cold places, and cold places make me think blue thoughts. So I'm using blue for my border. And then we'll come in here with our guide, and we're going to have a lot of writing in here today. So here's what I want you to make sure that the bottom of your guide lines up with the bottom of your border, because we might need to go all the way to the very bottom today with what I want to write. All right, so we have our guide. I would like to write, the Inuit people built houses of snow. Large blocks of hard-packed snow are cut with a snow knife or saw and laid on end, spiraling up to the top. Many igloos could be joined together to make a larger home. That's quite a bit to write. Let's see if we can fit it on here. We might have to adjust as we go. All right, we'll indent a little bit because we're start writing a paragraph here. Start with a capital letter, and we're not going to indent a ton, just like an inch or so. The Inuit, and because it's the name of a people, we're going to capitalize the letter I. The Inuit people built, B-U-I-L-T. I'm going to try and write a little bit, maybe a little smaller than I normally do. I know some of you are able to write pretty small, so let's kind of work in that smaller scale for this so we can fit more on. Built houses of snow. Large blocks, CK on blocks, of snow are cut with a snow knife. Knife is a funny one. It's spelled with a quiet, silent K at the front. Knife, and an E at the end. Or saw, and laid on end. Spiraling. I hope you have enough room for this word. I have enough room, I think. Spiraling. Oh, nice. Up to the top. Many igloos could be joined together to make a larger home. Now, if I'm not going to put a period yet, if you are out of room, stop there. If you're not out of room, you could keep going with me. I'm just going to go on a little bit. I'm going to say many igloos could be joined together to make a larger home for several families, because that's pretty important that several families could live in one igloo. A larger home for several S-E-V-E-R-A-L. Families. Families. I-E-S. That's probably plenty to write for today. So you notice family is usually spelled with a Y at the end, but when we add an S, we're going to drop that Y and add I-E instead. As I was looking at this paper, I noticed I made 2 mistakes in spelling. The word laid is L-A-I-D, and the word families, I put an A there. That was a silly mistake. It's an I. F-A-M-I-L-I-E-S. So that is what your final one should look like. I also wanted to point out a mistake that I caught myself making. This, do you guys have words that it seems like you just never remember how to spell it? I wrote in my, so when I wrote this one last week, I hadn't actually done the activity yet, so I didn't know for sure I was going to go to Esther Park, and I ended up going there and realizing the field was too small, and so we went to UAF instead. And we went to the soccer field, and I made a note in here that we went to the soccer field, and I did that on the video, and guess what? I misspelled the word soccer because I almost always forget how to spell that for some reason, and then I misspelled it again on the instructions. So I do realize that the word soccer is spelled S-O-C-C-E-R. That would be the correct spelling. If you had made that mistake if you had copied my mistake, I should say, onto your paper, you could go back and fix that if you wanted to. Just so you know, just so you see that, because I know that I made that mistake. All right, so this is our main lesson book writing for today.